Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm just quickly popping in here before the video starts to tell you that this is a huge collab with 8 other people. Those people include Perks of Law, Evie Flynn, Shannon Nath, Elliot O'Callaghan, Bree, Melly Charlotte, Jazz Forever and It's Lauren. This is basically a weekend study with me over the October holidays. It's kind of explained in the video, but I'm going to keep this quick. I hope you enjoyed the video and get on with it. Hello everybody, today I'm bringing you another study with me over the weekend. This weekend was in the last weekend of the October holidays, so I was just finishing off last bits of work which I hadn't done, making some revision resources and like just last minute stuff really. That was my to-do list. I had some flashcards to make, a booklet to do and some reading to do, and I had some breakfast, opened my curtains, and it was about 11:30 as I've been not doing well at getting up early. So I decided to do my reading first, because that's what I was dreading the most and I wanted to get it over and done with. So first of all I went on my laptop and sorted out some music, and then I started reading the sheet. And my method for reading is just going through and highlighting the important things, and then when you take the notes, just make notes off the highlighted things and brief them down even more. So I just went through and highlighted the whole sheet, only the important things, and I'm very selective about what I highlight. And then when I started to make some notes, I just got out a piece of paper and I just made the notes, and I did a fancy little cursive title which I've never done before. I don't think it went very well, but I see those a lot when I'm scrolling down my STUDYGRAM Instagram account, so I thought I'd give it a go, and I just started making the notes. And I wrote way more than I needed to, so I'm going to need to rewrite it in a briefer version. But I did this method where you write the topic of what you're writing in the margin, and then you just write down the page without using subheadings, and I actually quite liked it. So yeah, I really liked using that method, and it made my notes a lot more clear. And then after I'd written that, I just went through and alternatively highlighted each section in a different colour, because that made it more clear of what was what. But I was only meant to write like half a page of A4, and I literally wrote 2.5 pages, which is great. But it was meant to be typed and I wrote it, so hopefully it's enough. I mean, hopefully it's not too much. So yeah, this is the alternative highlighting that I was just talking about, and it just makes it easier to read when you haven't got subheadings. And this was the final work, and this took me like I think it was a couple of hours, yeah. I'd really been putting it off and I was dreading doing it because I just can't stand reading. So I was very glad when I was able to tick that off my to-do list, and I just put everything into my psychology folder and tidied up a little bit. And this was about 2 o'clock, so I think I'd eaten lunch after this point, after I finished the reading, and then I went down and then I came back up to tidy away. So I put my psychology folder away. And then actually my friend came over because she needed to use the Wi-Fi, because she moved house and didn't have any Wi-Fi, so she needed to do some work. So she was on my bed, but I need to do some history flashcards which I'd neglected all term, because I said I was going to keep on top of the notes, but I really hadn't. So I just decided to go through all the topics and all the material and combine it onto flashcards. And the reason this takes me so long is because I was just talking to my friend, like we hadn't seen each other for a few days, and it was just nice. And she was doing her work, I was doing my work, so we were kind of focused, kind of not. But as you can see on the digital clock in the background, literally took all afternoon, and I keep turning around and talking to her. It's fine. I did do some work though after she'd gone home, but it's just nice to chill, and it wasn't hardcore work, so it didn't really matter. And although I still did have quite a lot of stuff to do, which is all done now, which is a sigh of relief. And I was eating some cream crackers because I've been obsessed with them recently. So I found out that cream crackers are vegan, and I'm actually not vegan. A few of you asked me that in my last video, which might not be my last video when I upload this, but I'd had a vegan burger and a lot of you asked if I was vegan. I am not, but my friend actually is, so she was eating them as well. Basically what I was doing was I was compiling all the information which we collected over the term, and we have information from all sorts of sources, so I don't like to make my flashcards the night that we have the lesson, because I know there'll be more stuff to add and I'll just regret it. So I was compiling all the information from that term, or maybe half the term, because I had made some flashcards a little bit in between, but I was just putting that all onto flashcards so that I had some revision resources. And I stopped early because I had kind of got to a place where I knew that notes weren't complete. Yeah, I do find it really difficult to make flashcards for A-level history though, because the content is just so broad and everything is relevant, so you don't really know how to make it concisely. So I think mind maps might end up being a better way to do this, but for now I'm doing flashcards because it's way easier. Yeah. So I literally spent all afternoon on this. So my friend came about 2 and I finished at like 7. How bad is that? But I did a lot of flashcards. Like you can see here, I take off the ones that I'd already done and they were the ones that I'd done. And it doesn't look like a lot, but I wrote a lot, and history is very heavy, so I'm proud of myself. I did a lot, in my opinion. And then I laid them out for a cute STUDYGRAM photo, which is already up if you want to see it. It's not very aesthetically pleasing, so I mean you probably don't want to. Yeah, it was 6 o'clock. And then I put them together with a bulldog clip. I just clipped that to my history folder to keep them safe, and this is kind of a flick through of some of them. And then I tidied up my desk once again, put stuff into pen pots, into my pencil case, put some of the history notes. Oh, I put the history flashcards into my history flashcard folder thing, I don't really know, but yeah, I put them in there to keep them nice and clean, and then I slipped that into the plastic wallet at the back of my history folder. Why am I doing this? Because it's just so unnecessary, but I did do that, and then I just put all the sheets back into my folder and tidied up. As per usual, I highlight off my to-do list, and then I wanted to do some of my psychology booklet, so I went on my laptop and just put some music on, because the booklet doesn't really require a lot of focus because it's kind of just regurgitating information. And if you saw the video I uploaded on Sunday, the 29th of October, you will have seen me start this, and I hadn't done any since then when I was doing this, so I did the rest of it in like 2 days. It wasn't actually that much. So what I was doing was, there was some questions about the whole module of research methods for psychology, so I would answer the questions without looking at my notes, and then I'd get my flashcard out which corresponded to the question, and I finished all my flashcards between the time of those 2 study with me's. And then I would copy off the flashcard in the red pen, the stuff that I'd missed, so I just knew what to look for when I went back to it. And this was all in revision for a test which I had today, and honestly I have no idea how it went. I'm not going to make predictions, but I don't think it went amazing. But it's fine, it's fine. And then I just did like half an hour of that because I was tired, and then I just kind of decided to wind down and get some sleep. And I love making shots of out of focus lights. I don't even know why, but it's like my favourite thing. And my room was looking quite cute, so I was like, do you know what? It's time for bed. So I left the mess on my desk because I wanted to finish some more of that in the morning, which you will see because I'm going to do a 2-day study with me. Turned off my fairy lights because the white light keeps me awake, and then I just got myself into bed. When I woke up on the Sunday, I did not do as much work today as I did the day before, and I usually don't do this much work every day. This was a very one-off for me, but yeah, I got up and obviously my stuff was still on my desk, and it was even later and the clocks had gone back, but I had still managed to lay in bed for ages. I had a huge mug of tea and some tea cakes with peanut butter, and I tidied up my research methods to one side because I wasn't actually tidying up, and I just ate my breakfast with my laptop and just did some like leisure, like I just chilled for a bit before I properly started work. After like half an hour on my laptop, I just got my research stuff back out, and I didn't complete the booklet actually, but I did a lot more of the booklet, and I did it in 2 or 3 half-an-hour sessions. So as I said earlier, I did the question without looking at my notes, and then I just checked it against the flashcards which I've made, and yeah, basically that's what I did for ages. And it wasn't too bad doing actually, because I could listen to whatever music I wanted, and that's not the sort of thing I get distracted on, and I don't find it too hard, so it was kind of that sort of chill revision. And then my alarm went off for half an hour, and I set it for another half an hour because I wanted to do an hour that day, and I just continued on doing that half an hour of work, and I didn't take a break in between because I didn't feel like I needed to. My brain was in that place where I'm happy to keep going. Sometimes I really need a break, sometimes I don't, and if I don't, I'm not going to take one because otherwise I will not get as much done, and I need to get a lot of stuff done that day. So my timer went off once more for another half an hour. I did just finish the question I was on because I don't like leaving things half finished, and once I had finished that, I just put all my flashcards away into their little wallet. You will see a lot of these plastic wallets very shortly on my channel, and I put my psychology folder away and got out my history folder and my history textbook because I need to make some flashcards on the GDR. So the day before I'd done Russia and this day of doing GDR, and this was the psychology booklet and some of the stuff which I'd done. It is not as much as it looks like it is. I haven't done any of the exam questions just because I didn't know I wouldn't be able to mark them, and I didn't think that would be very beneficial. These were the history flashcards. I really regret doing them on small flashcards, but I don't want to transfer to big ones because it will look messy, so I don't know. But this was the stationery I used because a lot of people always seem to be interested in stationery, so I thought I'd let you know. And I just went through and made some notes on history, which also took me ages, and this was like 4:30, so as you can tell, I'm not always very productive, and this is actually quite a good day for me. So, you know, if this is a good day, what's a bad day? Yeah. So I basically spent the rest of the day on this. So I went through and I hadn't made very many flashcards on the GDR either because we'd had a knowledge test in the second week, and I'd made flashcards for that. After that, not really done anything. So I just went through and highlighted some sheets which I'd not read and made some notes off those and annotated them, and compiled notes from all different sources for each topic and just put a brief version of them onto a flashcard, which is basically how I do history. And because we have so many like sources which we get notes from, it's not very effective to make notes immediately because I will miss something and then I'll regret it and want to add it on later. So I don't stay ahead with history. I kind of just do like a lot very not often, if that makes sense. So yeah. These are the flashcards which I made. You can kind of see a pink and black colour scheme going on. I tried to keep them quite minimal. Yeah, and I put them together with a bulldog clip, and then I clipped that onto my folder just to keep them safe. And that was basically the end of the day. I didn't do any work after that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye!